you might not want more characters in Mario Kart World. Because look at this. Do you see how many little dots there right at the bottom? That's 13. 13 pages of characters. Oh, but don't worry. Oh, you're fine with that? You're fine with 13 pages of characters? Well, no matter. If you're doing multiplayer, if you're doing 4-player split screen, check this out. Do you want to count that? So, Mario Kart World has been announced. We've known about it. We just have a direct. And in the new footage, we saw some new footage of the character selection screen. And so far, I'm sort of really loving this character selection screen. Every single character has a bigger portrait, and so they have expressions from their classic renders, like Mario's doing like a big fist up in the air. They're all like a little bit of like a reference to something previous, which I think is super fun. Along with that, each character has like a little idle animation which they play whilst you're selecting the character, which is super cool. There's a lot of attention to detail, a lot of fun stuff in this, which really, if you're a fan of Mario Kart Wii, like myself, or Mario Kart Double Dash, where we were standing and doing like little foot taps and stuff, this really hits the same scratch, and I think it's super cool. But one thing which people maybe aren't in love with this is the fact that there is now multiple pages for these characters, because you can only spread out 12 on each page. So that's already making it so that there's a bunch of pages and it's super bloated. And on top of that, the character costumes which you unlock throughout the world using Yoshi's little burger thing. For you guys who don't know, throughout the world in Mario Kart World, there's these little Yoshi diners, which are pretty fun. I think they're just called Yoshis. And it's more than just diners. Of course, you can get the big old burger there. That's obviously what it's designed off of. But throughout the map, there's certain food tied to locations and cultures around the map. So there's like sushi in one place. There's burgers in another place. There's a seafood Cajun location near the oceans, which are really cool. And they give you like pirate uniforms, which is super fun. Like, oh, you eat a crab. Oh, of course, Wario turns into a pirate. It just makes logical sense. But in doing so, you would think the game would follow the same rules as it did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is for every single character, which has alternate costumes and stuff, you click on that character and it brings a little pop-up and you can choose one of their costumes from there. That looked really good in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think in Mario Kart 8, the original, they actually shifted around the character selection, even transition over to 8 Deluxe, because you now have like the villagers under one screen, you have the Inklings under one screen. They really optimized the character selection in that game. And so I think the utter contrast with this, where there is just way too many pages in terms of choosing your character, is a little bit silly. It's going to be a little bit crazy. Luckily, guys, it's not all doom and gloom for choosing your favorite character, because this is such like, first off, this is such like a silly issue to have, but I could actually see this being really annoying for selecting characters when you're in like a group setting, because the one problem I have with 8 Deluxe is when you're selecting your carts, right? Trying to select carts and having people wait for someone to choose, oh, if they're going for the wooden wheels or not. Like, that's so boring. It's so annoying. You want to just get right into the race with that. And it takes so long. So you have to, oh, wait, I have to choose my glider. I have to do all this stuff. I'm really glad they removed that in this game. And I feel like it's going to make multiplayer way more efficient. But then with this, it's almost like one step forward, 2 steps back, because now with the character selection, you're going to be waiting there for ages for someone who's being indecisive, especially myself. Like, I don't know, oh, am I going to play as for Biddy Bud, or am I going to play as Bowser Jr.? Who am I going as? Oh, Bowser Jr. in a funny hat. Oh, I can't decide. Oh wait, I actually am going to go with Bowser Jr. with a funny hat. Oh, what is that on page 16? Oh, I better run back to... It's going to be a little bit messy. You could see it getting really, really, probably more funny frustrating than angry frustrating, but that's just me. Maybe in a situation with you, you're playing with someone who's super stressed out. Oh, I just really want to play Mario Kart right now. They're just getting pissed because they can't find a character. Oh my god, where's Biddy Bud? Where's for Penguin? I gotta go as Penguin. You can see it getting a little bit frustrating, but regardless, there is this little button in the corner where if you press X, it says sort. Now, we haven't seen what this does. I don't remember it being in the demo. I think if it was in the demo, I should have pressed it, and I didn't. I don't think I saw sorts. I think that's exclusive for the actual launch of the game. But you imagine that this is like, recently played, or like organized by like the character, so like all the costumes are together. But it really is sort of like backwards with Nintendo UI recently. Like, if anything, it makes me think of the just Switch OS in general, because finding a game on the Switch OS is so annoying. I really don't like it. Like, imagine the Wii aesthetic. Oh, I love it all. Love all the Wii stuff. But if you look at the Wii menu, I think if you hold A and B on a Wii channel, you can drag and move it anywhere. The disc channel stays the same, but for any other channels, you can drag and drop them and completely customize how they are, and they save that layout. With the Switch, obviously that's not the case. It just shows recently played. I mean, you have to scroll all the way to the end, and then you click show more, and then there is folders, but they're, sort of annoying. They're groups. I don't know. It's all a little bit unoptimized. It's not the best for finding the games you want to play if you have a big library. Now look at this. Mario Kart is sort of taking the same effect, the Switch effect, you might say, where it's just gotten kind of crazy with all these pages, and some people are even comparing it to the menus of Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom, because in both of those games, the biggest issue, which I had, and I think a lot of other people had, is the menu design. When you're, especially in Echoes of Wisdom, oh my god, it's so frustrating, where that entire game is based around you selecting these items and then, you know, creating echoes of them. But it's just one long list. It's just a giant list. Obviously, you can press plus and go to the menu and scroll down and find them, but neither is very intuitive. I would think that, like, for those games in particular, you would have something like how Mario Maker 2 has it with the big carousel wheels, where it's like, okay, this kind, and this kind. That seems really good for those sort of games, for like item management and stuff. And when you're choosing an item, for choosing a character, I don't imagine a big wheel would be very useful. But it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's funny because in Mario Kart World, the menus, like the main menu, is very similar, almost identical really, to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's, where it has like single player, multiplayer, but even have like the same Toad illustrations, but just like the black and white of them. And you know, the same thing with like wireless play, online play, all of that stuff. And even bumpers underneath that, like how we had with the DLC and Labo in 8, that's there for like for badges and other things you collect in this. So yeah, in one element, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then you jump to this, and it's like they completely butchered what works really well with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But it's not all doom and gloom, because I think the reason they decided to do this is because of their mentality with this game going forward, where they want to continue to expand this roster, add DLC to this game, make it the biggest Mario Kart. It already feels like the biggest Mario Kart, but really continue to support it for, you know, the ongoing lifespan of Switch 2, which could last up until like 2032, 2033, 2034. We could be playing this game till the mid 2030s. And if that's the case, and they keep adding characters and stuff, I think instead of having the character little portraits getting shrunk smaller and smaller and smaller with their little heads, like it was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, having this page system seems quite good in terms of, adding a new page for like DLC and things like that. So this feels better in the long term side of things, but when there's already so many pages and the game hasn't even released yet, we haven't even seen what the final roster looks like, this is gonna get a little bit intense. I really think that the optimal way of doing it, if it does get too crazy, is they do change it to where you select, you know, Mario, and then you select his different outfits from there. That just makes the most sense, really. And I think that is the most obvious thing which they should fix with this. I think actually the pages work completely fine. I don't think that's that bad, but I think having all of them in little drop downs for each character makes way more sense, because otherwise you're just going to get a page where it's just Mario, you know? Like, maybe that should be it. It's like you select Mario and then it shows you all the Mario outfits, and that's it. It shows you a selection of all his fits. That makes way more sense. Well, what do you guys think? Do you like this idea? Do you like it being all these multiple pages? Are you excited to keep pressing the scroll buttons to try and find the character you want to play as? Or do you prefer a huge giant page of like all the characters like you would see with like the DeviantArt like custom Mario Kart rosters or Smash Bros rosters? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to stay subscribed to Mood News for all things on Mario Kart and other things to do with the Switch 2. I'm just very excited about this game, so I just keep doing videos about it. But yeah, talk to you guys later.